welcome to Vista Voices. I'm your host, Chris Visano, along with David Reese.
And David Reese.
And Jackson Williams.
And today our guest is Maureen McManus Hackett, the Communications Director at Vista. Thank you for being on the show, Maureen.
So happy to be here. Thank you for including me.
Oh, it's our pleasure. My first question for you is, what attracted you to the direction of communications job at Vista?
So when I first came to Vista a couple of years ago, I was met by a few of your members when I was waiting in the lobby to meet with the CEO and the Vice President. Right. And I was so warmly welcomed by these two particular members, and they asked me if I was here for a job interview, and I said yes, and they said, you really need to work here, it's a great place. So I just knew it was the right place for me.
Yes. What aspect of this job gives you the most fulfillment?
So part of my job is to raise money for Vista Life Innovations, and by doing so, that allows us to continue our programming and services for our students and members. And when I see the River Valley Transit bus pull up in front of our building and a bunch of the students and members climb out and they're getting ready to go to work or they're getting ready to go to a program, it reminds me that the hard work that we do to raise money is really, really affording our students and members these amazing opportunities to be exactly who they want to be.
Sounds great. You have any questions, David?
I do.
Hi, David.
Hi, Maureen.
Hi.
Maureen, when did you first start working at Vista?
So I began working at Vista in January of 2024, so it's been a little over 2 years. It seems like just yesterday, though.
Yeah?
Yes. And I've really enjoyed this opportunity to get to know the students and members as they come in to where I work, the 107 building, and have a chance to just come out of my office and say hello, check in,
yes,
see how everybody's doing, and see the smiles.
And Jackson?
Yeah, so my questions for you, Maureen, is what is your favorite part of being the Vice President of Development and Communications?
Wow, that's a great question, Jackson. So that's a position I recently took on back in November, and working with our new CEO, Mimi Corcoran, allows me to work closely with her, learn a lot from her, and really have a vision for our organization that we continue to do the wonderful work while improving every day to meet our goals.
Very good.
Thank you.
I do have 3 more questions, but I'll bring it back to Chris if he has any questions.
Yes, we have some questions from our crew.
Sure.
What made you interested in your role now? And like it seems like you love it.
So Chris, you would absolutely be right, and David and Jackson, I think you would agree. I absolutely love my job.
We can tell.
Yes.
You can tell. I'm so glad. You know, my job is to raise money and share the mission of Vista. But I couldn't do it if I didn't believe in our mission.
Yeah.
And our mission to empower individuals with disabilities to be whatever they want to be makes me truly enjoy coming to work every day.
Yes.
That's a wonderful feeling.
It is.
How do you communicate usually? Is it by email or phone calls?
Really good question. So, you know what? I think we communicate in both ways. There's we do send out a lot of emails. We have social media posts on Facebook, but there's nothing better than having a phone conversation with a family member who is just interested in learning about Vista, all the activities we have coming up, supporting Vista. And while talking with somebody on the phone, I think you have that opportunity to really get to know them even better.
Well, we have to call it a day now. Thank you for being on the show, Maureen.
Thank you, guys. This was the best part of my day.
Thank you, Maureen.
Yes, thank you, Maureen.
You're so welcome. David, thank you for inviting me, and I'm so glad this worked out.
Yes.
And, means a lot to me.
Okay.
And thank you for watching this episode of Vista Voices. Tune in for next week's episode. Thank you.
Welcome to Lynch's Monthly Sports Jam. I'm your host, James Lynch, and today we're starting with NCAA Conference Tournament season. The women's take place from the end of February to the middle of March, and for men's college basketball, most conference tournaments take place from the end of February and wrap up on March 15th, this Sunday. This year, those tournaments wrap up on Sunday, March 15th, just in time for Selection Sunday, when the official NCAA tournament bracket is revealed at 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. In the meantime, many of the conferences outside of the traditional Power Five, several of which began their tournaments during the week of March 2nd, are battling for something extremely important, automatic bids to the NCAA tournament. Any team that wins its conference tournament earns a guaranteed spot in March Madness regardless of its overall record, strength of schedule, or resume. Those automatic bids come from all 32 NCAA Division I conferences. One conference that has drawn a lot of attention recently is the Big Ten. After expanding to a record 18 teams on August 4th, 2024, the league became one of the most competitive conferences in college athletics, especially in football and basketball. During the first season after expansion, the 2024-2025 season, only 14 of the 18 teams were eligible to compete in the Big Ten's single eliminational conference tournament. But beginning with the 2025-2026 season, the conference moved to a full 18-team tournament field. The first round tipped off yesterday and continues through the night of March 11th, 2026, as every team now competes during what the media calls Championship Week. Games are played every day leading up to Selection Sunday, which traditionally falls on the second Sunday of March. For the major power conferences, these tournaments are more than about just winning a title. Teams are also trying to improve their seeding for the NCAA tournament. Deep runs like reaching the semifinals or championship game can boost a team's resume in the eyes of the selection committee. Most of these games are played at neutral sites, adding to the postseason atmosphere. Conference tournaments can range anywhere from 3 to 6 rounds depending on the size of the league. Higher seeded teams often receive first round byes or even double byes based on regular season standings and tiebreakers such as head-to-head results. Even if a top team loses early, it still may receive an at-large bid from the NCAA selection committee. Those decisions depend on a team's resume, the strength of its conference, and how it compares to other teams sitting on the tournament bubble. That's where bracketology comes into play. Analysts create projected brackets throughout the season to estimate which teams are in, which are out, and where teams might be seated. While those projections change constantly, they give fans a good idea of how things might look once the official bracket is revealed. The 4 number 1 seeds, one in each region, are determined by overall records and performance throughout the season. For many teams, these conference tournaments are the final chance to prove they belong in the big dance and maybe even toward a run toward the Final Four and national championship. From my perspective, March Madness has already begun. The intensity we're seeing right now feels like the NCAA tournament itself. And for teams in conferences like the Big Ten, the road can be especially tough, sometimes requiring 5 wins in 5 days to claim the championship title. Thank you for joining me on Lynch's Monthly Sports Jam. We will see you next time.
Hello and welcome to Real Deal Reviews. I'm your host, Chris Vazano, with a new edition of Streaming Gems. Today I'll be reviewing an action movie on Amazon Prime called The Wrecking Crew, where the biggest names in escapist entertainment join forces, Jason Momoa and Dave Bautista. And it's a true success thanks to a witty script that does not depend on action movie cliches from today and harkens back to an energy missing from a lot of action thrillers these days. The action is sensational, blending UFC fighting and mixed martial arts, as well as amazingly choreographed car chases and shootouts. The plot is very straightforward. The movie begins in Las Vegas, where an innocent man is killed in what seems to be a hit and run. The man is identified to be the father of 2 brothers named Jimmy and James, 2 estranged brothers who live polar opposite lives and live far apart. They are reunited for their dad's funeral, but are reluctant to have a brotherly relationship again. Soon, what brings them back together is the investigation of their father's murder at the hands of the Yakuza. I really enjoyed the first half of this movie because it takes its time for the investigation to unfold, while mixing in thrilling action so it doesn't come all at once and tire you out. This narrative choice allows the movie to establish the characters and sympathize with them. I think Momoa and Bautista make for a great pairing, and I highly recommend watching this movie, and I'm hoping for a sequel. But if there is a sequel, I would like for a big screen release. I give the movie a 9 out of 10. Thank you for watching.
Welcome to David's Dugout. Hi, I am David Reese, and I am going to talk about this week's sports highlights. This week in college basketball, UConn women's basketball team is still undefeated. Their record is 34-0. This week in NFL, Los Angeles Raiders are releasing quarterback Geno Smith after just one season, with the move expected to become official by March 11th, 2026, following a disappointing 2025 season where Smith threw a lead-high 17 interceptions, and the team went 2-7 2-13 in his start. And in his start, the Raiders are moving on, saving $8 million in cap. This week in NBA, Boston Celtics play at home against the Washington Wizards in Boston on Saturday, March 14th at 6 p.m. My favorite game of the week is Wisconsin Badgers men's basketball winning on Saturday, March 7th against Purdue. The score was 97-93. The game I am looking forward to next is Wesleyan men's basketball playing at home against Tufts in Sweet 16 on Saturday, March 14th at 4:20 p.m. See you next time at the dugout.
Hi, I'm your host, Daniel Lager. This is Danny's Football Facts. Los Angeles Rams are looking forward to play in Australia for the next season for their designated home game. And the other hosts for the next Super Bowl will be in the first time airing in ESPN, Fox Sports, and Disney Plus. Super Bowl LXI will be in Inglewood, California at SoFi Stadium, and NFL predict Los Angeles Rams will win the Super Bowl in the home stadium and will get their Super Bowl champion title. Good news about Disney Plus. We posted Super Bowl LXI on Sunday, February 14, 2027. And we keep it on Disney Plus until 2027 calendar. So I'll get more about Los Angeles Rams next time. See you later.
Hi, I'm Jack Calver, and welcome to The Drawing Board, where I walk you through mathematical proofs that I have beautifully written out myself. This episode's drawing board consists of trigonometric identities, the neighbors of the cousins of the hyperbolic identities, starting with Euler's formula. These formulae are very important in trigonometry and some calculus. We'll start with the equation y equals c1 e to the ax plus c2 e to the negative ax. If we differentiate it twice, we get a squared c1 e to the ax plus a squared c2 e to the negative ax, or a squared y. Now let's suppose that a equals I. Then y double prime equals negative y. If c1 and c2 are 1/2, then y equals e to the ix plus e to the negative ix all over 2. Y prime equals I e to the ix minus I e to the negative ix over 2. Y double prime equals negative y, as we all know. So we know that y prime equals negative y, y double prime equals negative y, and y of 0 equals 1. 1 plus 1 over 2. And y prime of 0 equals 0. These conditions are satisfied by cosine of x. If this formula is true, which it is, 1/2 e to the ix plus 1/2 e to the negative ix equals cosine x, then the derivative I halves e to the ix minus I over 2 e to the negative ix equals negative sine x. So the derivative of cosine x is negative sine x, which we already know, which is why this works. And if we divide it by I, we get 1/2 e to the ix minus 1/2 e to the negative ix equals I sine x. And if we add it to the original equation, the original formula, we get e to the ix equals cosine x plus I sine x. That is Euler's formula, and it is used in complex exponentials as well as many theorems of differential equations. Now we can go on to the trigonometric identities. Cosine of a plus b equals hyperbolic cosine of ai plus bi, which, as we know, is cosh ia plus cosh ib, cosh ia cosh ib plus sin ia sin ib, which we can now translate to cos a cos b minus sine a sine b. Did I mention that cosine of x is hyperbolic cosine of ix? Because that was proven up here. Which makes its antiderivative sine x equal to the hyperbolic sine, negative I times the hyperbolic sine of ix. If we differentiate cosine of a plus b with respect to a, we get, and negate it, we get sine of a plus b equals sine a cosine b plus cosine a sine b. We can furthermore show that tan of a plus b equals cos of a plus b, sine of a plus b over cos of a plus b, which is sine a cos b plus cos a sine b over cos a cos b plus minus sine a sine b, which if we multiply by sec a sec b over sec a sec b, we get tan a plus tan b over 1 minus tan a tan b. But the most important thing here for in geometry is the Pythagorean theorem. Cos squared theta plus sine squared theta equals cos squared I theta plus I squared sin squared I theta equals cos squared I theta minus sin squared I theta equals 1. So a squared over so a equals c times cosine theta, and b equals c times sine theta. So a squared plus b squared equals c cos theta squared plus c sine squared theta, c sine theta squared equals c squared cos squared theta plus c squared sine squared theta, which is just c squared cos squared theta plus sine squared theta, which is c squared times 1, c squared. So a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Well, that's all I've written for you today. Tune in next week to see a shockingly clever solution to the general cubic. I'm Jack Calver, and this has been The Drawing Board.